Being blind. Spiritually, mentally, personally, not physically, but giving you an understanding of what it means to be blind in those areas by understanding what it means to be physically blind. A physically blind person cannot see. I know that's earth-shattering news to you, but a blind person cannot see. So when the Bible speaks of us being blind or blind to our sins or blind to our ways, or he alludes to making spiritual comparisons about being blind to physical people being blind, and him healing people that have been physically blind, and making the personal and spiritual application to being spiritually blind. The foundational thing of that is you can't see. Another way of saying is you don't know. Another way of saying it is you don't know what you don't know. My approach to helping people, even when I was blind to my own ways, I was super blind. But in an attempt as a Christian and as a minister and really loving God and loving people, even in my condition, try to help people. And I knew as a 19-year-old punk that this sugarcoating, shoving the real issues under the rug, soft-tailing everything and backpedaling and not hitting the truth straight on was not helping anybody. I saw it. It was not helping me. And so I never had that approach to where we're just going to sugarcoat everything and we're just going to handle everybody with kid glove. Now, there's always a point in a balance to where you practice stuff like that. Have some wisdom. Harmless as serpents, wise as serpents, harmless as doves. But not everything being soft and cushy, not everything being sugar-coated, not ever facing the truth head on. It's tough love. And it's the only love that works. There are absolute times where it's just, I'm just here to listen. I'm not going to offer any correction. I'm just going to be here for you. And then there's times where you're just dealing with some arrogant, punk, jackass, fool, idiot who needs to be hit physically and spiritually right smack dab in the jaw. And you just have to shoot it straight. And then it's people that you've shown nothing but compassion as far as offering no correction. And they begin to understand their need. Then you start practicing some of that tough love. But in the big scheme of things, we have got to learn to hit things head on. And that's my approach now, even more so. The freedom that God has given me, the blind spots that He's revealed to me, the stubbornness and the arrogance and the pride and the laziness that was all part of me, that I was blind to, and stubborn and refusing to see and acknowledge that it was even a possibility. And me going through those battles and learning that, that's what I do for men today. And I am more straightforward, hard-hitting. But the part about being blind is you don't know it. So here's what I want to encourage you to do today. Instead of hating again, instead of getting mad again, instead of coming back with stupid and foolish comments, Instead of proving what I'm saying is right by your foolishness, I want to encourage you to be willing, even if just an ounce, just one ounce, just a little bit. Humble yourself. And be willing to acknowledge, even in the slightest, that you probably ain't right about everything. That you probably do have some issues you need to work through. That it's probably not your wife's fault. That it's probably not your kid's fault. Probably not your boss's fault. Probably not your pastor's fault. Probably not your parents' fault. Probably not society's fault. But you might have you might have a little bit to play in all the problems you're having. You might be to blame for the problems in your marriage. You might be to blame the relationship not being right with your kids. That don't mean your wife ain't messed up. That don't mean your kids ain't being disobedient. It don't mean your boss ain't a jerk. It don't mean your parents have been morons. But it means you're willing to quit worrying about them. And you're willing to admit and be open to the possibility that you might need some help and that you might be the problem. This is Chris Huffman, Faithful Man, putting out another good thought for you today. Hope for you to soak up and listen to and apply to your life. And if anything I'm saying here resonates with you, we've got programs, books, and manuals. Jump on a call with us. See what we can do to help you. But until we meet again, listen, everything we do is for His glory. The God of heaven, personified in the person of His Son, Jesus Christ. There is no other God. There is no other way. We're going to give you a lot of truth. We're going to give you a lot of principles. There's going to be a lot of times we don't reference the Bible exactly every time, but that is our foundation. The God of heaven through Jesus Christ, through the King James Bible. That's our foundation. And until we meet again, let me tell you this. You don't have to believe God, believe in God, believe in Jesus Christ. You can hate God or believe He's not real. You don't need to believe in Him to get help from our sources. But you do need Him if you want to have a home free from fire, brimstone, and hell and torment, and have a life forever in heaven with Him for all eternity. You do need Him. But we can help you on this earth have success, have transformation, and grow, and have healing and peace. But you got to be willing to take that first step. You got to be willing to admit that you need a little bit of help. At least a little bit. And until we meet again, keep your eyes on Him.